So we're live. Hello and welcome to Courage to Create. Today I have a very, very special guest with me. She will introduce herself, but I want to say a few words before, as part of part of the introduction. The reason why she's so special is because she started writing on Substack 4.5 years ago, when almost no one knew what Substack was. And she moved her subscribers from Medium and she just began. And I love that, like quietly, consistently, week after week, she wasn't chasing the numbers. She was just showing up. And guess what? By the end of 2024, after 4 years of writing, she had less than 1,000 free and handful of paid subscribers. And she was okay with that. She stayed focused. And then one day, she wrote a note. In May, something unexpected happened. She wrote a note sharing her story, and it went viral. And in less than a week, she picked up 283 new subscribers. Welcome to this incredible, amazing, inspiring new friend, Nira Mahajan.
Yes, that's correct.
Tell us, how did you do it?
Oh my God. First of all, such big adjectives. I can't hear those about me. I'm just a simple writer who was struggling and still struggling with my goals and with my writing goals, particularly. But thank you for inviting me to chat on Courage to Create. It's such a great publication, and the niche you have picked up is so good and so great because you are talking about courage to women or men over 50, my age group. And that's the kind of thing I would love to um, participate in and tell people of our age group that, look, our life is starting now. This is the best time to do whatever we all wanted to do previously. It's not ending, it is the beginning of our life. Before that, we were all doing things which we were expected to do, but now we can do things we want to do. It's been, I think our generation is very lucky one because we have this extra years of in our life, because most people in old days, 60s, 70s, they were just preparing to go to other world. But we have all this relatively good health, longer lifespan, means and technology to do whatever we want. So I love your publication. I love what you're doing, and courage is a great topic. Now the question, how do I do it? So I'll tell you a story about that. So when I was in my 40s, I think probably not even 40s, late 30s, I I was a reader all my life. So I was reading a magazine. In that magazine, there was a photo of or image of Barbara Cartland, the romance writer. So it was a story about her, and if you don't know, she is the all-time biggest writer of books. She has written 700 novels, and for over 70 years. And if you do the maths, it's about 10 novels a year. So practically, she was publishing a novel a month. And I was reading her story and I was thinking, oh my God, this is something. And she was lying on this bed, which was pink, with pink canopy, pink bed sheet. She was wearing a pink gown. She was almost blind at that stage, and she was narrating her book to her assistant. And I said, oh my God, this is something I would want to do in my later life if I could write, and if I could write novels. This is what I would want to do. And that was in late 30s, early 40s. So that image remained with me all my years, and it became a dream, and I started thinking about it. So when the time came to retire from my job, I actually took early retirement, and around 56, 57. And told myself, okay, now I'm free of all the responsibilities. My children had grown up, married, gone, left house, everything. My parents who were aging, they passed away. So all the responsibilities were over. I said, I'm now going to spend these years for the things I want to do. So I intentionally took early retirement so that I could write. But the trouble was I couldn't write. My writing wasn't good enough, put it this way. And I've told this story many times that in my early career, one of my boss took me aside on a performance review and said, well, the only thing standing between you and the senior management role is your written English. And I
Wow.
was devastated. I so much wanted to progress in my career, wanted to become progress in my management ladder and all that. So I did something unthinkable. Like I didn't concentrate on writing, on business writing. I actually joined a life story writing group. I said, okay, what can I do? And there was courses for writing memos
Mhm.
and writing this and white papers. And as I didn't go anywhere near them, I went for life story writing. And there were other reasons for that. I'm a migrant in Australia. I had my aging parents, and I somehow felt that I need to capture the snippets from my childhood and my parents' story for my next generation so that they have their roots. So that became the beginning. But I learned the art of storytelling, which I started using in my business writing as well. So, and that helped a lot. That gave me beginning. But still, after 20 years and I've won my management position, senior management position as well. But still, when I came to publishing anything with my name, on internet, it was not possible for me. I just couldn't call myself a writer, and I just couldn't publish anything. I was started doing a blog, but I was doing it anonymously.
Oh, interesting.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, so it was anonymous, nowhere near my name on it. But I was writing stories. People were reading it, and someone I will get comment now and then, very nice, love this, love that. So,
Mhm.
but it around 57, I was still working. One day I said, enough is enough. I'm going to buy a domain name of my name, neeramahajan.com, and I'm going to start publishing with my name.
Wow.
And I did that. I did that
Mhm.
at lunchtime at work. I bought the domain name. And I said, okay, I'm going to start writing. But unfortunately, on the same day, my father passed away. I
Oh,
went to
I'm so
see
sorry.
him. I went to see him in the nursing home. And within hours, like he slipped from our hands and he just passed away.
Mhm.
And that day, I realized that how fleeting our life is. It can
Yeah.
vanish anytime.
Mhm.
And next few weeks of in grief and during the grief and coming to terms with losing both my parents, I started writing, and I wrote my first blog post about my parents and about this incident,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
of them going and me realizing that I'm not going to be here forever. I don't have forever. I got to start now.
Mhm.
So I started writing blog. Um, it would take me 7 to 8 hours to write 3 or 4 paragraphs.
Mhm.
It was terrible. I have changed many times. It's still terrible. Then I gave up. I said, okay, they're going to sit there. But if you go to neeramahajan.com, my
Uh-huh.
website, it's got
Uh-huh.
thousands of articles now in there, and it's buried somewhere right at
Okay.
the beginning. Right at the beginning. So I started all doing that, and around that time, I
Mhm.
oh, in I think on when the pandemic just started, I discovered Medium. Someone was talking about it, and I said, okay, I'll go and check it. And you could write a story there, and I think it was emotional time, and I just wrote an emotional story in there saying that what a writer can do in a times like this, something like that. And as I was talking about that, a writer's job is to inspire, to instill hope. And that's what, and I gave some things. This is what we can do, and this is what's happening, and all that. And I published that. I forgot about it. Two,
Wow.
2 or 3 weeks later, I went in there, and there were people commenting on this that people were following me and all that. And I said, "Oh my God, there's audience there. The people are reading it. Nobody reads my blog or my website, but here people are reading it." So I started writing on that, and that's where my writing journey began. And in that period, there are few things happened which really kept me going. And I'm sorry, taking over the stage from
No,
you. If
no,
you have questions,
continue. No, please, please continue. Because it's such an inspiring story.
yeah, I think
Um,
the narrative becomes like when you have said, or when you have gone through this, the story starts connecting with the other story and other story. So
mhm.
in Medium, I was again going through the challenges of not being able to know what to write,
Okay.
how to have following and all that. And then I did a challenge for myself to write 30 stories in 30 days,
Mm,
30 every day publishing something. And
okay.
that went very well, so I extended it to 100 days. So
Oh,
I
wow.
wrote 100 days,
Mhm.
every day publishing a story. And tell you something, if you want to build a writing habit,
Mhm.
this is the best thing you can do. Without skipping a day, write and publish something on any platform. It could be
Mhm.
LinkedIn, Medium,
Yeah.
Substack, wherever. And it, it, because it's harder first, but then it becomes so easy. And even when the challenge ends, you don't want to stop. You just continue. And that is the kick I needed. And during that time, um, I wrote my first book. So
Oh.
while writing every day,
Mhm.
because and what I was doing, I was writing my book, and I was giving daily update um, on Medium what's happening, and which was really
Oh,
good.
that's a great idea. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually kept me going, because I knew in the evening I got to go
Mhm.
and tell my people who are reading these posts what happened
Yeah.
today, because people actually start getting interested in your goals when you're when you're
Yeah, when
doing
you're
something like
sharing
that.
them.
So I
Wow.
published my book, and so there is a story about how I came to my book idea, how I got to writing a book, because
Mhm.
now I was writing for about 3.5 years, and I still couldn't call myself a writer.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, in my mind, a writer is something who has published a book, and I
Mhm.
hadn't. I had
Mm.
nothing to show for my 3.5 year of diligently writing
Mm.
in that time frame. So one day I woke up, and I clearly heard a voice in my head. It said, "Write that damn book and do it fast."
Wow.
And it was as if he was sick of it. I'm heard all the excuses. Now go and do it.
Wow.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I was so
Mhm.
excited. I said, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to write a book in 1 week. But what
In
should that
one
book
week.
be? In 1 week. And I said, I'll write it in 1 week, and I'll publish it in 1 week. So
Wow.
so started. I was washing dishes in the breakfast dishes, and I was thinking, okay, I got to write a book in 1 week. What book would I write?
Mhm.
What should be the topic? And then I started thinking, okay, what book I want to read at the moment, which I could write.
Interesting.
and
Mhm.
and the answer came, okay, I want to read a book which can help me write a book fast and publish it fast. So I said,
In
okay,
1 week.
in 1 week. So I turned it around to what I would want to read at this moment and turned it
Mhm.
into a book. So I started doing that exercise. But then I was on, at that time on LinkedIn also. I was writing occasional posts and in there as well. And I put a question in a poll in the question in LinkedIn. I said, okay, here are 4 titles I want to
Mhm.
write a book about. Let
Okay.
help me choose which one I should write. And I put with my, you know, to satisfy my intellectual brain as well, I put one book about cryptocurrency because I wanted to learn about cryptocurrency at that time. So I said, okay, I can research and I can write about that. So one was this, couple of other titles, and I put it out there. And
Amazing.
people came back with, and they all chose how to write a book in 1 week. And I was surprised. I said, they would probably pick up cryptocurrency or something else. And
Mhm.
I asked
Mhm.
them, okay, why do you want me to write this book?
Mhm.
And one lady, I remember, she was from Pakistan. She's been following me for a little while. And she said, because you simplify things and you make them easy.
Mhm. Ah, okay.
And I said, okay, I didn't think that about me. I and she made sense to me. That was actually what I have been doing. I was learning, and then I was trying to teach in an easy way, so that the way I have understood, what made
Mhm.
it easier for me. So I said, "Okay, you gave me the reason." So I thought I'll write the book on that. So every day I set myself goal of writing 5,000 words. I was going to write 20,000 word book, about 100 pages. That makes 100 pages book, and I'll publish it by the end of the day.
Wow.
So some couple of days into it, I was very energized doing my 5,000 word. Day 3, my
Uh-huh.
daughter and son-in-law landed from Melbourne because the pandemic. They had everything shut down, and they came here to stay with us. I said, "Oh
Oh
my
my.
god!" But I
Wow.
I got them to work as well. I got them to edit my chapters.
So
I said,
it's a
"Okay,
family
if
enterprise.
I'm cooking for you, you got to
Yes.
edit my chapters."
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. So that's the fun part. So I did publish that book
Mhm.
half an hour before the midnight, and this is that book, and it is my
Beautiful.
best-selling book. So
Wow.
I have published 8 more books,
Okay.
7 more books after this, but this is
Uh-huh.
the one which sells the most. Don't know why, but this is the one people relate to because probably I wrote it from heart, and
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
and again, it's such an inspiring story on so many different levels, right? Like we can all relate to that, like 1 week, making it simple. And then, like I love the fact that you also included your family as part of the project. That is so beautiful. It's just
Mhm.
for me, it just melts my heart to
Oh, thank
when
you.
we're able to like full family members and our children, and that makes it so much more special because they will remember that those moments forever, right? Like one of the reasons why we write books is
Mm,
so when we are not here, right, other people can read it. But also, like in was your first book, I can definitely imagine like your family always holding this moment so close to their heart,
mm.
and saying like, oh my god, we were part of this process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's good. It's
That
good
is
actually.
fantastic.
Now the family thinks this is something mom do, but the first one was always special. First book.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes.
So that's probably, I think I've given how I started and how I got there. I think your question was about Substack. 4.5 year on Substacks. Yes. I somewhere along the line, actually, I remember it was from Medium I found out. So I was doing a coffee chat with someone. on Medium.
Okay. Okay.
So this guy, I forgot his name, and I actually should find him and thank him
Mhm.
in some special way because he put me on Substack.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
what? And not in the chat or anything. Um,
Mhm.
um, so he was doing. His goal was to do 500 coffee chat or something. So he asked me, would I want to do a coffee chat with him? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I talked to him, we chatted, we talked about, okay, this and that. And t- he sent me, okay, would you subscribe to my newsletter? And I said, yes. I said, where do you write on Medium? And he said, no, I write on Substack. And he was writing on
Mhm.
Medium as well, but he started writing on Substack. And I said, what's Substack? And he said, okay, I'll send you the link. He sent it to me, and I like the format, how
Mhm. Mhm.
his all his articles were appearing in one line, and they were going to his subscriber. And each week he will tell how many people joined his Substack. I got to find him. Now I have remembered to do that. I got to find him, and I said, okay, this is a good platform. And I was struggling with Mailchimp to write an
Mhm.
email no, to write every week. I was trying to send to about 12 or 15 people I had as subscriber to my newsletter. I said, okay, that's too much. This is easy. Let's go this way.
Yeah.
So I transferred those onto the MailChimp subscriber onto Substack. And for a year or so, I think I had less than 100 people on my uh, newsletter.
Mhm.
And they were just stray people, someone who started following, or family, or someone I
Mhm.
told. I never tried to grow it. But as you said, last year, at the end of the year, I said, okay, I'm now going to concentrate on growing my newsletter, and I'm going to turn it into a business. And this is what I did.
Mhm.
There's one a major hurdle I have to come through every 3 months or so. Since both me and my husband are retired, we travel a lot. And every 3 months, we go away for about 6 to 8 weeks somewhere. And that breaks my flow um,
Mhm. Okay.
and generates a lot of work for me to go before the holiday. I schedule the articles and do a lot of work in those
Mhm.
prior to leaving.
Okay.
So I did 2 months of work, January, February, and in March we went on a holiday. So I got a
Mhm.
disruption of 2 months, and in May I came back, and like you said, in around I think 27th of May or something like that, I just wrote
Mhm.
a note, and this was my seventh note in that month, and it went viral.
Wow.
and and from there I actually got this idea. I said, okay, I have been ignoring notes for years now. I got to get
Mhm.
back onto them. So I started a challenge on my newsletter chat group. I said, I'm
Mhm.
going to start 1 month of notes writing to build a habit of writing on notes. If
Okay.
anyone want to join me,
Mhm.
please do. It's free.
Mhm. Mhm.
So many people came, and we were doing a analysis of okay, what happened in these 21 days of writing
Mhm.
so far. And so many people have grown with that challenge. So many
Wow.
have some of them got paid subscribers, their first paid subscriber in that time period.
Mhm.
So it really helped. And I also launched my first program, a cohort. It's 90-day write, grow, monetize,
Mhm. Okay.
where I've been each month we are picking one element and improving that. So
Okay.
in June we did the uh, mm, finding your offer, or identifying your offer
Oh,
and
okay.
polishing it, and then uh,
Mhm.
moving on to the writing part. Now next month in July we are moving on to the growth, and
Sure.
in third one, and in August, we're going to talk about
Mhm.
monetization. So this,
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
taking everyone along the journey, and it's for the paid subscribers mainly. So we and I'm supporting them every way I can, so that they start growing like I am growing. So it's coming straight from my growth as it
Mhm.
happens.
And it comes straight from your heart.
It comes straight from my heart too, because I'm very passionate about this writing and our journeys and getting the word out. So some stage I decided that my legacy would be my written words,
Mhm.
because the reason being I have benefited so much from reading other people's words,
Mhm.
and I want to leave the same behind, helping others to grow.
I think that should be your next book, Helping Others to Grow. That's an awesome title.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
I love it.
Mm,
That's brilliant. We so before we started, we were chatting a little bit about the advice you would give to your younger self,
mhm,
and I love I love what you wrote about the advice. And I'm going to read it, just a
mhm.
couple of the sentences because they are so poetic. And then if you have anything to add, I would love to hear that. But your answer was that you would sit across from nervous, hesitant, staring at the publish button, and say gently, "Now, your inner critic is loud right now, but that voice isn't truth. It's fear, dressed up as a protection." There's such a, I just love this, I love this quote because there's so much wisdom in there, and it's so beautiful and it's so poetic. And I know that in other conversations that we had before, we talked about the inner critic. So tell us a little bit about your adventures with inner critic.
Oh well, this is a big topic. It's a book. It's a actually book in the making. This
Oh,
mm,
perfect.
with, and it's in making with my inner critic. I'm actually working with him, and that's another thing. My inner critic is a him, not a
It's a
her.
him. Okay, okay, okay. That's
He's a
fine.
male for some reason. uh, so I, my inner critic has been active for a long, long time, even before I knew there is something like inner critic. And there's, I thought I had these voices in my head,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
which could be schizophrenic, but no. Um, he was my inner critic, and he would pop up
Mhm,
un, unexpectedly. That would, I would say. So you look at, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You're going to
mhm,
make a fool of yourself, or don't do this, don't do that, that kind of things. But there was a time when I remember the exact moment because I wrote it down and I wrote a couple of pages about it.
okay.
When I remember um, being aware of someone else in my head, and that was my inner critic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I started listening to him, and I was able to distinguish him from myself, and put him on the separate from me. So I said, it is not me, it's someone
Mhm,
else, and it is saying things to help me or to save me. It is not there to belittle me, which actually, if you hear it, it's this is what it sounds, that it try to keep you capped, keep you underground or below the surface. But when once I understood that, and I think there's a whole talk on it. We have organized this talk, and I'll talk more about it. But
mhm,
yes, that inner critic, I no, I don't think I have completely tamed it, but it still comes. But
mhm,
now I know how to live with it and how to work with it. So that is the best part. And once that is something I would advise everyone who is whether it's a writer or artist or anyone who is trying to do something passionate, to do that. Make friends with your inner critic, and you will see how much you will grow because of that.
Wow, what that's such a pearl of wisdom that we get to actually end with. So make friends with your inner critic.
Yeah.
And then you will flourish and get to the million subscribers.
Probably.
Probably. I'm sure there's a few more steps along the way, but I love that. That is such a great and a beautiful wisdom. Well, thank you so much. It's been such an honor and pleasure, and I just love and adore your story. It's so incredibly inspiring for anyone, but especially for the 50 plus us. And it definitely provides so much inspiration and hope. And also, there was a lot of tools that you actually threw in as you were describing your journey. Keep it easy, keep it simple, and then create challenges for yourself. So you talked about the 30-day challenge, you talked about the 100 days challenge. Whatever works for you, make it yours. But what I heard and what I got from your sharing is make it fun. Don't make it as another job, another assignment. Just make it fun, make it into challenges. Share it with others, because that was another big part of your journey. You were sharing how it was going for you, and people were following you, and they were interacting, and there were surprises. So the collaboration and then sharing and then publicly committing to your goals and then being accountable. There's again, you as you were sharing, I was picking up like so many different tools that you are sharing with all of us for free, giving us amazing advice, right? It's just, and then it's just up to us, up to creators and writers to take the wisdom, take those tools and start applying. So, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Had a great time, and we'll do another one on the inner critic.
Yeah. I think that's a topic that I would love to chat about. Yes.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you so much.
You.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.